I really like the lesson which we are going to do tonight. It's very straightforward, very clearly structured. It feels just right, gives a new perspective on standing. If you suffer from back pain, it's nice. If you suffer from a stiff chest with restricted breathing, it's nice. I can't think of all the benefits. It's just a great lesson. So we start in a supine position. Feet are standing. The first move is to start. Don't jump into the movement. Just float into the movement. It's about the pelvis. A tilt, an anterior tilt, a forwards tilt, which means your tailbone should come a little bit closer to whatever it is you're lying on. Your yoga mat, your blanket. And your lower back should lift a tiny little bit from the... Moshé Feldenkrais is as if a mouse can pass through your back. There's many ways to lift your back. And we're looking for the way which is to tilt the pelvis forwards. So your tailbone comes closer towards the floor, which makes the back lift a little bit. It's a pelvic tilt anterior, just a little, tiny little bit, or a little bit more. And it really should be the pelvis tilting forwards. So when the pelvis tilts forward, it pulls the whole spine, all the vertebrae, everything, it pulls it through the chest, it pulls on the head. Can you feel that? Can you feel that connection? The whole lesson is about this connection. Not this connection, but this connection. The connection between the pelvis and the head. So the chin is pulled towards the chest bone. And your shoulders are lying, your arms are lying, just resting. The shoulders don't move, the spine is moved between the shoulders, pulled between the shoulders. You can do this many times and everything has to let go. So this movement becomes more and more possible. And now we try the other direction. Tilt the pelvis posterior. Which means to bring the lower back closer to the table. Pushing the spine. You push the spine through your chest and you push your head. Just try to feel if there's a connection. And then combine these two movements. Roll the pelvis in one direction, anterior, forward, and then backwards. And when you roll backwards, you can help with your feet. Don't lift your pelvis. Just have it on the ground and roll it backwards and forwards, and maybe go a little bit faster, rolling the pelvis forward and backwards. And the pelvis is connected to the spine, I have to say it again, and thus the spine is connected to the head, and so the pelvis can pull on the head or push the head. And there's no arching in the back. Everything is relaxed. Everything let go, and don't try to disturb your breathing. Thank you, this was a little reminder. Just breathe normally. Just breathe don't hold your breath. And if you notice that you hold your breath, try to not hold your breath. Just make it slower. Make it smaller, the movement, so you can just breathe. Be comfortable with your breathing. Don't interrupt your breathing. And then let go again. So this was 3 movements. Anterior, posterior, combine it. Now comes the 4th movement. Let's check my little cheat sheet. Bring your feet to standing, interlace your fingers, bring the hands behind your head, the elbows towards the ceiling, lift your head and let it be lifted, and start to roll your pelvis forwards and backwards again. Forwards and backwards with your head lifted. And there's work in the pelvis by rolling the pelvis back and forwards, and just see how this affects the head. In theory, when you roll your pelvis forwards, the head should come up a little bit more. When you roll your pelvis backwards, the head should lower a little bit and be pushed away from your pelvis. When you roll your pelvis forwards, anterior tilt, the head will lift a little bit more, so the curves in the spine get stronger. And when you roll your pelvis backwards, the head will be pushed and lower a bit, so your spine is going to be more straight. Try to find this. That's how it should be. If it isn't, you know now that it could be like that. Shouldn't, couldn't, wouldn't. And try to explore it. Explore, experiment. You can try the opposite as well. Opposite doesn't make that much sense. Try to breathe, 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 breathe. Don't interrupt your breathing, and then take a rest again. See how you feel on the floor, or lying. Did your lying already changed? The way you're lying on is changed? Any different feelings? We need to continue. Just keep your legs straight, the arms next to your chest, torso, hips, somewhere. Try to tilt your pelvis forwards and backwards while lying supine, straight, flat. Try to tilt your pelvis forwards and backwards. And maybe you can help with your heels. Can the heels help? And feel. When you rock your pelvis, it's not exactly rocking. It's like tilting the pelvis forwards, let go of the tilt, tilting it backwards, let go of the tilt. See how that can pull and push your spine through the chest. So the intercostal muscles, the muscles between the ribs, have to let go. Have to be at ease to allow for this movement. Just your shoulders are lying. You can do it a little bit faster, a little bit slower, a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. The shoulders rest, and the spine is pulled and pushed between the shoulders. The shoulders are... There was a movie called The Lord of the Rings, and there was a boat and two large statues, and the boat was floating on the river between those statues, and that's your spine, and the statues is the shoulders. Take a rest. Take a rest. The next move is with the right leg standing. So bring your right foot to standing, knee flexed, knee towards the ceiling, left leg is extended, is long, and then try to tilt your pelvis again. Tilt it backwards and forwards. Always the same movement. That's so nice about this lesson. It's always the same movement in different positions, different configurations, different opportunities to explore the same movements, and every position has some benefits and some advantages on its own. So how can you tilt the pelvis with one leg standing and one leg long? Explore. Don't hold your breath. Let your breathing breathe. Your spine going through your chest. Yeah. Can you see? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel the particular thing about this position? Asymmetric position. You can push with your foot, with your right standing foot. You can contract the muscles on your right side more than on your left side. I guess you already discovered that. I hope so. Then start to exaggerate this movement. So you push more and more with your right foot so that the right pelvis starts to lift, but the left leg is long, is relaxed. And when you tilt your pelvis anterior, forwards, you roll more towards your right hip as well. See, you have a much bigger movement with your right hip joint than with your left hip joint. And this makes it very asymmetrical. And let your head roll. I love this movement. Try this. Try it a little bit faster. Try it slower. Try it smaller. Try it bigger. Like really roll your pelvis to the left and backwards and forwards. It's diagonally. Okay, now stretch out your right leg. What do you feel? Does this feel asymmetrical? The lying, can you feel the right side is lying different than your left side? If it does, isn't it cool? A very funny feeling. Did the bed change? Okay, now bring your left leg to standing, right leg long, and start to tilt your pelvis forwards and backwards. Always the same movement. Forwards and backwards a little bit, and explore it. Explore it and see how it is on this side. With your left foot standing. And now it's diagonally in the other direction. You already know the movement from the other side. So start to make it a little bit bigger. Tilt it a little bit more and more. Roll your pelvis more and more towards the right side. So don't lift your right side. You just roll onto your right side. More. It's not like a roll over. No. It's just a little bit lifting of the left hip. And the pelvis starts to roll towards the right. And tilt backwards. And roll towards the left and tilt forwards. And let your chest be relaxed, just resting on the bed. And see how the spine is being pushed through the chest. How the spine is pushing the head up and down. You don't have to get it perfect at the first time. You can redo the lesson tomorrow, and you will see tomorrow you will find something different than you did today. Because we tend to learn, we tend to get better at stuff. We also tend to get better at such movements, which will be very beneficial in standing also, and beneficial for the whole spine, to be more relaxed, to be more aligned. All right, then rest your legs again. Rest yourself again and see, is it symmetrical again? I can feel something. I can feel something in my body. It's like, I don't use the word energy. Something is tingling in my whole body. It's like a fresh breeze. All right, let's see what is next. This, and this. Oh, get your right leg to standing. Turn your head to the left. So your left ear is on the floor. And then with your right hand, take hold of your left ear. So your head is turned towards the left. You hold your left ear with your right hand, then lift the head sideways, so you still look to the left side, yes, hold the head up like this, and start to roll your pelvis forward and backwards. It's always the same movement, different position. And see how that is. So when the pelvis is pushed backwards, the head is pushed up, is longer the spine. When your pelvis rolls forwards, the spine is more curvy and the head lifts a little bit. The spine is getting shorter because it has stronger curves. Try to feel that. So we make that short. Let go of the head again. Then turn the head towards the right. With your left ear, get hold of your, with your left hand, get hold of your right ear. Lift your head. Have the head turn to the right, and so it's no changeover of the legs, no switching of the legs. It's still the right leg is standing, the left leg is long, but your head is turned towards the right. Lift the head, roll your pelvis forwards and backwards, and see how is that working for your spine. Okay, now we change positions. Get the left leg to standing, right leg long, turn your head towards the right with your left hand. Take hold of your right ear, lift the head, do the same thing, which is roll the pelvis backwards and forwards. It's still asymmetrical situation for the pelvis. Your left side can contract stronger, can work more than your right side, and your head is lifted, looking towards the right. What kind of position is this? And then turn your head over to the left. With your right hand, take hold of your left ear, lift the head, keep it lifted, and then this is totally different. I can feel such a strong difference. Now my spine is worked into a curve, a lateral curve, a curve to the side. So if you need more time, you need to hit pause and then continue. Because I take a break now. I don't know. Feldenkrais lessons make me happy. How about you? There's something meaningful about it. It's so humane. It's really meaningful movements, explorations of movements, and gets me all excited to do it. I love these lessons. Okay, what is next? What's the next movement? Ooh. All right. So get both feet to standing. And put your heads above your head. Your hands above your head. Long. Feet standing, hands above your head. Just that the arms are resting on the floor above your head. Straight arms, more or less straight, a little bit extended. And then, same thing, start to push your pelvis forwards and backwards, and it feels different because the arms, the shoulders are a different organization, different relationship towards the rest of the body. Very interesting. Completely new feeling. Whoa, more difficult. Is it? Or is it more easy for you? For me, it's more difficult. Kind of is more restrictive between the shoulder blades. I have to concentrate more. And don't hold your breathing. Forwards and backwards. Now lift your head. Oh, this is difficult. And continue rolling your pelvis and see how this pushes and pulls the head. Okay, let go of the head again. This is strenuous. We don't want any strenuous things. But did this change? How it feels like? For me, it changed. After holding the head up, I could imagine there's a contraction of the front side because there's a flexion. And because there was a flexion, and then when you rest your head again, this flexion is over, it's done. And then the intercostal muscles can let go again more. So this whole thing becomes easier. Is this a legit explanation? Who knows? Maybe some physiotherapists. Okay, then. Rest your legs, legs long. Let's give those arms, my arms, your arms, a break. Bring them back down, just a short break. Then bring the arms back up again and tilt your pelvis forwards and backwards and see, yeah, you have to help with your feet, with the heels of your feet maybe, to roll the pelvis backwards and forwards. Not that easy with the arms overhead. You have your arms overhead? Have your arms overhead, your legs long. You're like a long spider. Very long. And tilt the pelvis forwards and backwards. This is too difficult. All right, take a rest. This is the final rest. See how you feel, how your back feels like. Is it warm and nice? How your legs rest, how your pelvis rests. If it's even, left side feels the same like your right side maybe. How your head rolls. When you tilt your... We don't tilt anything. Now is rest. Rest, rest, rest. Alright, so finish this little rest. Get your legs to standing, like in the beginning, just the legs standing. Tilt your pelvis a little bit forward. See how it is, how the spine pulls the head, how the spine is skewered through the chest, and then the other direction. Tilt the pelvis forwards and backwards, and just see how it is. Ha! You can do it faster. This is a fun movement. Alright, so we end all Feldenkrais lessons the same way. We need to get up. Is this a philosophy? I don't know. But please come over one side to sit and then come to stand and see how it is in standing.